Last night I was presented the only way to have 218 votes if I provided certain members with certain positions, certain gavels, to take over the church committee, to have certain budgets. And they even came to the position where one, Matt Gaetz, said, I don't care if we go to plurality and we elect Hakeem Jeffries and it hurts the new frontline members not to get reelected.
Oh, it's Judgment Day, all right, for Kevin McCarthy. He has been waiting years for this moment to finally become Speaker of the House, picking his battles, flip-flopping on his positions to satisfy the far right. And today he gets to find out maybe if it works, but there's a lot of obstacles between him and the speakership. He referenced one right there, Matt Gaetz and others apparently wanting certain concessions. But Kevin McCarthy says, I'm not gonna do this. This is not about any one individual's ambitions, except that it very, very much is. Maybe just not Matt Gaetz. This is about Kevin McCarthy's ambitions. This dude has been trying to have his cake and eat it too, trying to appear early on as if he was some kind of moderate while giving the far right whatever they want, like cozying up to Donald Trump. Then in the immediate aftermath of the insurrection, putting the blame rightly on Donald Trump, and then immediately backtracking once he figured out that that wasn't gonna be politically popular. And so this guy is going to finally see the dice have been cast. Is it gonna come up, snake eyes, or is he gonna become speaker? He needs to today win a majority of those present and voting, 218 if every member of the House were to attend and cast a vote, and I'm assuming most will be there. Republicans are gonna control 222 seats, so there's not much room for defections. And as of right now, there are the five that they talk about, the big five members who say they won't vote for him, at least at this point. Matt Gaetz, who we've already talked about, Andy Biggs, Matt Rosendale, Ralph Norman, and Bob Good. But that's like just the figureheads. There's apparently far more than that. McCarthy apparently now has acknowledged that there are likely 20 or so members voting against him, although who's to say at this point how firm any one of their resolves is. So he could still very well become speaker, but it is not a guaranteed thing. Mondale, what do you think so far?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see one of those moments where we may have 100 ballots before we determine who's the speaker. So that's happened before in our history. It was in the 1800s, but this Republican Party is definitely divided. We've seen Biggs get nominated already to against McCarthy right now. So while the vote is on the way, we already know that, like you said, the big five will not be voting for him. If that other 10 or 15 people either vote present or not for him, there's a space where, like you said, Ilhan Omar name might end up on a later ballot, or Hakeem Jeffries might be the speaker. So I'm super excited about what could possibly happen right now. McCarthy, like you said, it's funny that you said snake eyes because he's absolutely a snake. This gentleman has shown that he has no spine when he did call Donald Trump after the 6th. The riot in the Capitol and say that this is your fault, you need to stop it. And then when it became time to set up the January 6th panel, he pretended that nothing happened, Trump did nothing wrong. So that level of shifting does not speak of leadership. Actually, him being quiet about a topic we're gonna talk about later in the show, Santos, shows the lack of leadership that it takes to run a caucus and definitely to run the people's house. So I'm super hyped that he may not be the speaker and there may be a Democratic speaker, even though we don't have the majority. I want to see what's gonna happen today. I'm like a kid in the candy store because I have no faith in McCarthy. And while people may say ever since he's been in leadership, Republicans picked up seats in the House, and that's the only place it happened. It's not been a significant gain, and this is why we are where we are right now, where he may not wind up as speaker at the end of the day.
Yeah, look, if you're going to elect as speaker, the thing that got you more seats in the House, then hello speaker gerrymandering. That's what got them the extra seats. They did partisan gerrymanders in a number of states, which the Supreme Court accepted. The Democrats in places like New York tried to do it themselves. Those maps were knocked down. That easily gets you the 5 seats or whatever for the majority. So he's gonna claim credit for that. But he expected that it would be a much bigger margin. He once specifically said in an interview, this will not be a 5-seat majority. And so, okay, well, like how much credit do you think you deserve? In any event, we're gonna see. He could still end up speaker. I think that the most likely single outcome is still that he becomes speaker. And the reason that I say that is I think he's going to cave even more than he already has. But let's be very clear as we launch into possibly him being speaker. He might be in leadership. He might technically be a big L leader, but Kevin McCarthy is not, will not, never has been a leader in any way. He does whatever he thinks he needs to do to get and hold and maintain power. That's it. He has been terrified of the far right for many, many years. And the fact that he might be in charge and terrified of the far right should terrify all of us.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.